This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
Tom, I'm shaking and I'm quaking.
Yeah, I don't even know why I asked you, Tim. It's obvious you're scared out of your mind.
Yeah, and with good reason. We have entered Halloween month, our month-long celebration of Halloween.
Yeah, the scariest month of the year, some would say.
Tom, there's bats, there's ghouls. Rats.
Yeah, bats, rats, cats, black cats.
Black cats.
Ghouls, goblins, gremlins, ghosts.
Ghosts. Ghouls, did we say?
Yeah, Draculas, Frankensteins.
Wolf men.
Wolf
and
men.
Wolf women.
Wolf people of all... any way you can imagine a wolf person, that's how they're coming at you right now.
Yeah. So yeah, it's smart to be on your guard.
You just legitimately got scared because my dog bumped into the closet.
It sounded like someone was in your closet trying to get out.
Yeah, I'm like only kind of joking, like your eyes widen. I'm like, there's somebody here.
Yeah. Well, the Halloween month's got me on edge. How are you doing?
I'm good. You know, I'm also scared of the Halloween month, but I'm putting on a brave face. I'm putting on a brave face because today is International Podcast Day, Tim.
It's our day.
As we record.
We're an international podcast.
Yeah. How did you spend International Podcast Day?
Eating too much cereal and feeling sick.
I didn't see you at the parade.
Oh, there was a podcast parade.
Yeah, there was a big parade.
Oh.
I thought maybe you were up front in one of the other floats.
I was sitting, I would have been sitting in a convertible with a sash on, just waving and holding a scepter.
Why holding a scepter?
Well, that's what you do when you're, the king of podcasting.
I thought you meant a...
is that the right word? Scepter?
Yeah, that's the right word, but I was thinking scythe?
Oh, well, it is Halloween month.
Yeah, Tim, that's why I was like, geez, Tim's really going all in on Halloween month right now, even on International Podcast Day, which isn't technically in Halloween month yet, which was a nice thing for them to do for us, because we were like, hey, you can't make it on like October 1st. We got that's when our holiday starts.
Yeah, we're all booked up with ghouls. We're all ghouled up for the month.
Yeah, so it's International Podcast Day, a day that I feel did not exist last year.
Probably, Tom. Podcasts haven't been around for that long.
Yeah, it wasn't until Joe Rogan, I think, came up with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many dumb days. And like, it used to be like, oh, that's a Hallmark holiday, right? It was like, oh, that's
Father's Day and Mother's Day.
No,
people
but like
complained about
Secretary's Day was a thing, and it was like, oh, you have to get the secretary at your office.
That was just the boss complaining about Hallmark holidays.
Yeah, Tim. Well, who do you think I talk to? The boss.
Yeah.
Nobody between me and the boss. Direct line. Now I don't think it actually is. I mean, now the idea of a Hallmark holiday would be nice. It'd be nice if you go to the Hallmark store, find a card for your favorite podcaster, send it to them.
Tom, their podcast, email them, Tom. They live online.
Oh, yeah, you could send like an e-card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to send a jib jab to my favorite podcasters.
That's one of the best kind of e-cards out there, Tim.
Yeah. It'd be like John McCain and Barack Obama wishing them a happy...
But like stick figure versions of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I
They'll
don't
be
even...
dancing around and whatnot.
I'm thinking of your head on an elf singing Jingle Bells.
That's cool, too.
That's what I didn't know. Jib Jab had the technology to make John McCain say anything they want.
Yeah. I mean, that got them in trouble. Those jib jabs fooled a lot of people.
Those jib jabs lost them the election. The internet, the idea though that these are Hallmark holidays, that's not true. What they are like social media manager holidays, right?
Yeah.
It's just a way that, like, you know, and
How many ice cream days are there a year?
exactly.
Or coffee days?
Exactly. There seem to be a few a year, and not even like, oh, it's latte day and it's coffee day. It's like, no, it's always coffee day.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not complaining when I can bring my own cup to a Starbucks and get a free fill up.
Well, but on
as long as I'm a member of their rewards program.
On 7-Eleven day, you can go get a free Slurpee.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like people I worked with were like big into doing that, and I never understood because like we're waiting in line for something for free that's normally 59 cents on any other day.
Yeah,
like this isn't, and like the Slurpees you're getting on Slurpee Day, they haven't had enough time to freeze. It's just kind of like, you know, the liquid in there. Also,
if any other day you had asked one of your coworkers, like, hey, I'm headed over to 7-Eleven. You want me to pick you up a Slurpee, my treat? They'd probably be like, no thanks, weirdo. I don't drink sugar.
Yeah. Well, they should try drinking sugar because it's delicious and it gives you a lot of energy.
I know, but how many days clean are you from
from sugar?
From Coca-Cola.
Oh.
Or Coke Zero or whatever you drink.
No, I mean, I still drink it occasionally. I just don't buy it for the house.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I'll only drink it if I'm out or something.
But you don't go out that much.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have any kind of caffeinated soda very often.
Is this why you hate your life?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the reasons. It's not the only one. Does this frustrate you too? That like it seems like for the past. Well, how long's like social media been around now? Like 15 years, probably.
Yeah, about that.
People who are still like, some intern over at Microsoft, that's in charge of their Twitter account. It's like the person in charge of the Twitter account at Microsoft makes 6 figures and has multiple people working under them. Like we're past the days of interns manning
Are you
social
asking
media.
me if that bothers me?
Yeah, just when people are like,
don't respect
some
the
interns
social media managers.
I just think it's foolish because they're like, an intern's going to get fired when, somebody fucks up and tweets something they're not supposed to. It's like, no, that's somebody who relies on their job.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
that's
think...
not the boss's nephew or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the social media manager or anybody could be the boss's nephew. That happens. Nepotism is still a thing. Like, nepotism exists beyond interns.
Yeah, but that's where it starts.
That's where it starts. Got to nip it in the bud. Tackle the boss's nephew if you see him as an intern, because once he becomes the head of marketing, he's untouchable.
But that's where all these holidays came from, right? That it was like,
I guess.
The guy in
about
charge
this stuff
of,
a lot more than I do. Yeah.
Well, I'm a smart guy.
Got a lot of thinking to do, Tom.
Yeah, the person in charge of the Little Debbie's Twitter account or whatever, on day 5 must have been like, oh, fuck, what else can I tweet about Little Debbie's?
Hey, it's oatmeal cookie cream sandwich day.
Yeah,
wow.
Boy, these Little Debbie's sure are delicious, just as delicious as you remember. Try them. So they got to come up with something. And
that's a good one, Tom. Are you moonlighting as the Little Debbie's?
No, but I mean, if Little Debbie's is listening and they're looking to hire somebody freelance to come up with some of these gems.
I don't envy the social media managers, Tom, of the world. I think they have a very hard job.
That's what I'm saying, and everybody belittles them like, the intern.
Who are these people? Who is this straw man?
It's like something like uncles say.
The uncles are still on like, what are you putting on the Twitter what you ate for lunch?
Yeah, I was gonna say my uncles are they don't I think even know what this.
If I tried to engage any of my uncles about Twitter, they'd be like, I don't know.
So, they're like, I don't know what that is.
They would just refuse to. They'd just be like, can you turn on the basketball game?
Yeah. So I don't know who says it, but people say it still, and it just annoys me every time.
Yeah, I think anytime people belittle anybody's work.
Yeah.
I've said this a million times, but I really hate you had one job.
Yeah.
No job is just one job.
Not
when it's
anymore, no.
When it's like there'll be a picture of the ketchup dispenser at McDonald's. It's like messy, like it overflowed or something. It's like, hey, McDonald's employee, you had one job. No, there's not one guy that makes sure that
you follow some pretty shitty meme accounts. Where somebody just posts a picture of a broken.
I think that was something I saw online in like 2008.
And laughed at and laughed.
At the same
made
time
it
I
the
saw
background of your computer.
The jib jab I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, the you had one job thing is also annoying. But I think that's going away, just like people understand now that it's not just interns that run social media feeds.
Yeah.
I was looking at some of these days, not even the ones coming up. There's like a list here. I'm on holidayscalendar.com.
But it feels like you're trying to start some sort of Abbott and Costello routine, and I'm sorry for consistently derailing it.
No.
But you're just like, hey, you hear about these days? They got some wacky days these days.
But there's too many, and I'm looking at this list. This list is huge, and at first I didn't look at it closely enough, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. There's something for every day. And then I realized, no, there's multiple things for every day. And like a lot of these, it's like, look, people got to call dibs on these days.
Why?
January 11th is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Now that doesn't sound like something the social media manager at Little Debbie's came up with because they needed a new tweet to send out about Little Debbie's. But then January 11th is also National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day.
No, what?
And it's like, come on, read the room. National Puddle Association.
Is that who's running the?
I assume so. Big Rain's behind all this.
It might be the storm drain companies that have like multi-million-dollar contracts with large municipalities and cities and whatnot. And the cities will be like, the storm drains you sent us were faulty. There's all these puddles in our streets, and they could be like, people really love stepping in a puddle and splashing people, though.
Did you look at the calendar, you fucking idiot?
There's a whole day about how people love these puddles.
So I'm looking at...
Get rid of these puddles. You're not going to get reelected, Mr. Mayor.
I'm looking at these days. I'm looking at today, rather. Today's September 30th as we record this.
Tom, Jesus.
What?
Well, we're trying to make it a Halloween month show. You're breaking
I
the
already
illusion.
said that. It's not actually Halloween month when we're recording.
I was going to bleep that out.
Yeah, well, Tim,
I'm going to bleep all this out.
What I didn't mention is we're recording close to the stroke of midnight.
Yeah. As soon as this first segment is over of the show,
right,
the clock will strike midnight, and
it'll be Halloween month.
Yeah. I was just pretending to be scared before.
But they don't, on this list, they don't have International Podcast Day. They have National Mud Pack Day.
Mud Pack Day?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I guess maybe like getting is that what they call it? Like get a mud pack put on you? Pack some mud on you?
Was that some...
Tim, literally yesterday was International Coffee Day, apparently.
Yeah.
Or National Coffee Day, I'm sorry. Today, though, is also National Chewing Gum Day.
Oh, no.
National...
You know what doesn't mix? Chewing gum and podcasts.
And coffee. National Hot Mold Cider Day. And National...
It's too early for that.
National Love People Day.
Mm.
Which is created by Lifeline Church, a church out of Chicago. Created the day in 2017 to bring people together to celebrate unconditional love.
That's nice.
I mean, yeah, it's nice, but like, then what's Valentine's Day?
That's for sweethearts, Tom. That's not unconditional love. That's
not
like
I guess unconditional love can be for family or friends.
That's just, it's love everybody day,
or
right?
strangers. Probably a lot of people love us unconditionally.
Yeah, that's every day, Tom.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sick of all these days, and especially because I ain't get anything.
You're always
today.
bemoaning the fact that there aren't enough people with unhealthy parasocial relationships with you, right?
Yeah, more please.
Yeah. More people, Tom, you love it when people talk to you like they know you and can razz you the way that I do, right?
Oh, I love that. Yeah. We've got an upcoming live show. So let that be a heads up.
Yeah. Don't point out Tom's faults to his face.
Don't come up to me and be like, hey, Tom, what'd you shit your pants? Even if I did, it's none of your business.
Tom, great news. Well, great news and terrifying news.
Okay.
The clock has struck midnight.
Oh, that's what that loud dong, dong. It happened 12 times.
12 times, yeah. That's what that was. So the 12 large dongs were, Tom. And now it is...
After each one, I said, what was that?
And I said, but wait.
Sorry, you were talking about 12 huge dongs.
It's finally Halloween month.
Yes.
And now
you
shaking
can
and
be
I'm
scared. Yeah. Now you can be terrified without fear of retribution.
Right. Or just razzing from you.
Yeah. Now I understand. When you were scared before, I was like, what a sissy.
Yeah.
But now...
There's just a man in the closet behind him.
But now I'm like, no, he's right to be scared. Anything could happen.
Yeah. Tom, we're starting it off with a bang this year.
Yeah.
And a sugar high.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the monster cereals this week, Tom.
Now, Tim, what are the monster cereals?
Tom, I'm glad you asked. You're probably thinking some sort of monster truck related thing. No.
Oh, I was thinking like some kind of cereal for monsters because they can't digest human food or something.
No. For vampires, that would be blood
well,
capsules or something.
I'm thinking in
vampires
movies.
eat food, right?
No, they can't eat food.
Really?
Yeah, they makes them sick. They can only drink blood.
Okay, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say like in a movie when they put like somebody in a wood chipper. That makes monster food. That's what I would consider.
Yeah.
Like just a chopped up human being.
Okay. Well, no, this is cereal for humans, Tom, made by the General Mills Corporation.
Military man.
Exactly. General John Mills.
Good pull.
Tom, we ate so much cereal before.
Yeah.
I'm on a sugar high. I feel sick.
Yeah.
I'm sweaty.
We might have to slow this episode in post.
Yeah. I'm not thinking.
So
straight.
if we sound like our voices are unnaturally deep, that's what happened.
So they're based on famous movie monsters, Tom.
Yeah. So you're talking about a breakfast cereal, a sugary breakfast cereal for primarily for children, but they'll sell it to anyone. They don't ask for ID.
Right. They shouldn't sell this to children. They should not let
Well,
children
I mean,
eat
children
this stuff.
don't go into a store and buy cereal. They
go with their parents and they point at things and they go like, well, I want this, and they have a fit.
Well, so what? And you want the cashiers to be like, hey, this isn't for that kid, is it? And they're like, no, it is for me.
No, they shouldn't be allowed to put it in boxes with these delightful characters.
Oh, so they should just have them out in troughs, Tim? Have you watched the news lately? There's a pandemic going on.
No, they should have to just put them in like plain beige boxes.
Yeah.
With no pictures of them, just description, just a list of the ingredients.
Or like in England where the cigarettes, they've just got like disgusting pictures on them.
Yeah.
Like they could just have like, I don't know, pictures of like diabetes on these or something.
Pictures of diabetes, he says. All right, so it's Count Chocula, Tom.
Uh-huh.
Which is a chocolate-flavored cereal with chocolate marshmallows.
Now, are these cereals available year-round?
Tom, we're getting into this.
Well, you're going into the individual ones, and I've got some big questions
Hold
first.
Hold on, just chill.
Sorry, I've had a lot of this cereal.
I know. Everybody just take a deep breath. So
I'm going to take a quick run around the block.
There's Count Chocula, that's based on Dracula. He's a vampire.
Yeah, no shit.
All right.
It's Count Chocula. It's based on Dracula.
All right, well, who's Franken Berry based on?
I mean, I don't know, Tim, but I mean, the other one's obvious.
He's a Frankenstein-type character. It's a strawberry-flavored cereal with strawberry marshmallows. There's Boo Berry.
I thought Franken Berry was based on comedian Todd Berry?
It's Todd Berry.
Oh, then that explains.
I thought it was named after Berry Gordy.
Or Chuck Berry.
Boo Berry.
Boob Berry.
No, just Boo Berry, like a ghost says boo. And guess what? This guy's a ghost.
Oh, okay. And and he's got like a big pair of knockers or something?
And it's a blueberry flavored cereal with blueberry marshmallows. There's Fruit Brute. Do you know who Fruit Brute is?
No, I mean, that is I do know, but that is the confusing one.
He's a freaking wolf man, but it's unclear if he's a wolf man or just a wolf.
Yeah, he's like an anthropomorphic wolf, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're all anthropomorphic.
Well, I mean, Count Chocula is already a person. But I'm saying Fruit Brute isn't necessarily a werewolf, but it is a wolf with human-like characteristics.
Sure.
It can
it's
talk.
A cartoon character.
It can play.
I've never heard him talk.
I've heard him talk.
Where have you heard him talk?
In my dreams. I don't know.
That's a frosted fruit flavored cereal with lime flavored marshmallows.
Wow. All right.
Frosted cherry flavored cereal with cherry marshmallows. There's a couple different
like
varieties.
A good cereal that you could have with like a tequila instead of milk.
Because there's a lime flavored marshmallow in it.
Yeah.
I don't think you should have marshmallows with tequila. And I don't think kids should be drinking tequila.
Yeah, but you know, in movies,
even if it's in their breakfast.
Again, Tim, I refer back to movies. In movies, sometimes it's like, look at this guy. He's a real piece of shit. He's having cereal with beer in it.
Right.
And that's how you know he's a real piece of shit.
It's kind of what we did tonight, Tom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had these separate, but within moments.
And then finally, there's Yummy Mummy, based on the Mummy. Mm-hmm. It was actually called Fruity Yummy Mummy at some point.
But they were like, that's too much. Like,
yeah.
We already have Fruit Brute. We don't need Fruity Yummy Mummy. Everything else is, much more succinct.
At one point, that was orange cream flavored cereal with orange cream marshmallows.
Oh, damn. I would like to try that.
But then another varietal was frosted fruit flavored cereal with vanilla flavored marshmallows.
I mean, yeah, I'd still try that, but I'd be much more. I mean, but that you can get in other places. But I've never seen a orange creamsicle or a lime flavored ice cream. Those both sound intriguing.
Now, why are we talking about this, Tom?
Because it's Halloween month,
and it's the goddamn 50th anniversary of these monster cereals.
Oh, that I didn't know.
So, Count Chocula and Franken Berry.
Yeah, so like
came onto the scene in 1971, and what are they gonna do? What is General John Mills gonna do?
What?
That hilarious character I came up with earlier. He sounds like this. Hi, I'm General John Mills, and I make cereal.
You were gonna say, and I approve this message, and then you remember generals don't run commercials.
Tom,
this one does though.
They released Monster Mash,
a
cereal with all 5 of these guys: Count Chocula, Franken Berry, Boo Berry, Fruit Brute, and Yummy Mummy, and all their cereals in one box.
Wow.
And they recorded a new version of the Monster Mash.
Yeah, you sent me a website with this. Now, I thought it was weird that to listen to the song, you had to have Spotify.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They think they're going to make a lot of money off this song? Just put the song on the website. Yeah. I don't have Spotify.
Yeah.
All I could listen to is a short clip, 30 seconds.
It was bad, though.
And I had to imagine the rest. I didn't even listen to the full 30 seconds. I was like, I'll listen to the original Monster Mash thing.
The original Monster Mash is great.
Yeah. Did they change the lyrics at all?
Yeah, I think it's about the cereal. I didn't really listen to it either. I don't have Spotify either.
I mean, the original one might be about cereal, too. We don't know.
I mean, no, it's about the monsters.
I know.
It's about the monsters having a party.
Test, Tim. It's a test to see if you ever listen to the lyrics.
So, that's why we're talking about it. We tasted the Monster Mash earlier, as well as just the Boo Berry and the Count Chocula cereal.
Yeah.
So we each had 3 bowls of this awful cereal. Like, one of these has 1 bowl of it. And I think we had more than 1 serving.
Yeah, we were having like little bowls, but we had a lot of them.
has 11 grams of added sugar in it.
Added sugar, but how much natural sugar is already in there?
Yeah, there's a lot of natural sugar in there. So I'm sweating. I can't think straight.
11 grams, so that's like a third of an ounce, right?
I don't know.
An ounce.
I'm not a drugs person, Tom.
I think an ounce is 28 grams.
I hate when they do this on the nutrition facts.
Mm-hmm.
They
More than a third.
They list on all these breakfast cereals the nutrition facts for just the cereal.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and
then
then with milk?
Then the cereal with a half a cup of skim milk, and then they're like, wow, this breakfast is such a great source of calcium.
Yeah.
It's like that has nothing to do with the cereal.
Yeah, you can put milk in any meal, and it'll add some calcium to it.
Hey, this cereal is a great source of vitamin B12.
Yeah.
No, it's because the milk is.
They can put bones in that cereal, and
Tom, this is not cereal for monsters for the last time.
But I'm just saying, if they put bones in the milk, then the bones, that's gonna have a lot of calcium too.
I know. But they don't put bones in this. They put food in this. It's for human kids and adults.
Yeah, well, good. I don't want to eat any bones. I mean, I'd try them if it was an option. If it was, they were like, don't knock it till you try it.
Okay, so these seem to be based on like the Universal monsters, right?
Seem to be.
Right? Because they're not like licensed from Universal.
No, they're not. They're not licensed. But it's most of the same monsters.
Yeah, but all that shit is like public domain, right? Because all that stuff, all those monster movies were based on books from like
Count Dracula and Frankenstein are public domain. I mean, and then the rest
were
are just
in
ideas.
1971 when they started doing all this, right?
Yeah, they had already been around for a while.
Does anybody like these characters? Does anybody like Dracula?
Yeah, people like Dracula.
Who likes Dracula?
Tim, have you ever seen a little movie called Twilight?
That's not Dracula, though.
What?
That's a cool... it'd be like...
Yeah, it's like a Dracula reboot. It's like, well, what would Dracula be like today?
They tried doing like a sexy Dracula, and I don't think people liked it.
The Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Yeah, I might be conflating that with Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
Which was very sexy.
Yeah, because the Dracula you're talking about, that was Gary Oldman that played Dracula.
He wasn't so old back then, though. But
No.
he still had the name Old Man.
But they had to age him, and I think then, after that, he had a hard time convincing people otherwise.
But, like, what person living now is like, I'm a big Dracula fan? You know what I like? Dracula. Like, because people are like way about, like, Batman, right? Ooh,
yeah,
big
people
Batman.
love fucking vampires, Tim.
Not vampires, Tom. I'm not talking.
Yeah.
I'm talking about specifically the story of Count Dracula.
I think if somebody's into Dracula, they're also into vampires. I don't think there's anybody out there that's like, I could take or leave vampires, but Dracula, now that's a guy I am interested in.
Right. I'm not saying it needs to be exclusive.
Yeah.
But I'm saying being a fan of vampires does not mean that you're a fan of Dracula.
Went up to somebody who is like, I'm talking like a big fan of vampires, somebody with like the prosthetic
I think they'd be
teeth.
like, oh, Dracula, that's baby stuff. I'm into like the real stuff. I'm into hard vampire
well,
stuff.
then you should put him over your knee and give him a spanking, Tim,
I'm not going to do that to a vampire enthusiast.
because they've got
Put
to
a
have
hex
some
on me.
respect for their elders. Because that's who Dracula is. He's the oldest vampire we know.
Tom,
He was the first vampire.
you're not understanding my point.
Okay.
Here. There's no like Dracula merch.
Yeah, there's Dracula merch, Tim. They've got this Count Chocula
That's
cereal.
not Dracula. That's Chocula.
Yeah, because they've got it. They can't just call a cereal Count Dracula.
Why not?
Because
It's in the
people
public
think it's
domain.
made out of blood.
Okay, Tom. I went out and I bought these cereals so we could taste them.
Yes.
They were a really good deal.
How so?
I was always raised to believe that, and I think this was like they said this on commercials or something, or on TV a lot. That breakfast cereal was really expensive.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, I feel like it was one of those things that it was always like, the prices just keep going up and up.
Yeah.
And because I remember when generic, like when they started making generic sugary cereals, they would sell at the supermarket or whatever in like bags instead of boxes. It was like, look at how this is less than half the price.
Yeah, and there's like they don't have the fun cartoon characters,
Right.
but they're a lot cheaper and they're the same thing. And I was always like, fuck that. I want the ones with the cartoon characters on them.
Well, the funny thing is, if you go to you probably saw it today. I can't tell you the last time I've bought. I mean, I don't buy sugary cereals often, but I can't tell you the last time I bought like the on-brand version, because nowadays there's not even toys in the other. So it's like,
would you buy them for toys?
Yeah, I'd buy them for toys. I used to. I mean, that was how they got kids.
I mean, you did when you were like 7. You wanted them.
Yeah, but nowadays, if it was a toy I wanted and it was like,
If it was a toy I wanted. How old are you again, Dad?
40 years old, but I
Wow.
can still play with toys. If it was a toy I wanted and it was like $1 or $2 more than the generic, I'd be like, oh yeah, then I get the toy and it's probably a little bit better because it's the real version.
Yeah.
I'm
Sometimes they come out-
supporting the original artists here.
Yeah.
Tom, but they don't come with toys anymore.
No.
How mad were you when you were a kid when you were like, oh, this is so cool. I'm going to get this cereal. It's got this toy. And you found out you had to mail away for it.
Oh, all the time. But here's the thing, Tom. That never actually happened to me. I wasn't allowed to have fun, sugary cereals.
That explains a lot.
The best we could do was Kix. And sometimes my dad really liked Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Uh-huh.
So I grew up thinking that was a healthy cereal, even though that's like the least healthy
So you
cereal.
were like, well, my parents only eat healthy foods.
No, my parents were like, we're not having sugar cereals.
Yeah.
And then my dad showed up with a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch because he wanted to eat it. And I was like, what is this? He's like, it's a healthy cereal. It's not a sugary cereal. It's a healthy cereal.
He showed up. You make it sound like he barges in at 3 a.m. with a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch under his arm
I don't know. He got back from the store or whatever.
and just bought that?
No, did I say that he...
I mean, you kind of implied that your father came home with one thing and it was that cereal.
Tom, you're twisting my words.
So your basic point is that you didn't have these when you were a kid.
Yeah.
I think they've changed since I was a kid.
How so?
I think they used to taste better. I think they
No,
maybe used
Tom,
to taste
guess
more
what?
distinct. What?
You grew up against
Well-
all odds. You've gotten a more refined palate.
There is something that happens with your taste buds as you get older,
Right.
which is why you don't like grown-up food when you're a kid, and then when you're an adult, you don't necessarily,
Right.
things that you used to be like, oh, I love this. Now you're like, oh, this is way too sugary.
Yeah. All I know is that I never had it as a kid. I would have it occasionally at like sleepovers at another kid's house in the morning. It'd be awesome. And then I went to college. In my freshman year of college, I just ate Fruit Loops, Lucky Charms, and Fruity Pebbles. Like
Yeah, oh yeah,
For-
Fruity Pebbles.
most of my meals.
Yeah.
It's great, but I burnt out on all of it. So when I tasted this is the first time in like 20 years that I've had sugary
Fruity
cereal.
Pebbles is always a wacky cereal to me because like it just kind of turns into slush.
But in the best way.
Yeah, in a very good way. And I also feel like, I'm sure this isn't actually true, but that you get more Fruity Pebbles in a box just because there's like no
They're
wasted
smaller.
space.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's
no,
like
no circles in the Fruit Loops or whatever.
exactly like remember honeycomb?
Yeah.
That I feel like you
Oh,
can fit
yeah.
like 15 honeycombs in a box.
Yeah, because it literally had a honeycomb
Yeah.
design with like 9 holes in
Yeah.
it. It's like, come on.
You know what you should do with the Fruity Pebbles?
What?
You pour some milk in it. You let it get all sludgy,
Mm-hmm.
and then pour some fresh, crisp ones in there.
You
And
say
eat
this
that?
like you think I haven't done this, Tim.
I don't know.
I mean, really, I've done it. The cases where I've done
you
it
got to eat it
have
fast
been-
before the other ones turn to slush too.
have been when I've been almost done eating Fruity Pebbles, and then I think I want more Fruity Pebbles, so I just pour more in the bowl.
Right.
But accomplishes the same thing.
Yeah.
Tim, what did you think of what order should we go in? Should we start with Monster Mash? Because my thing with the Monster Mash is I feel like it was too much. It was just kind of all over the place. That it just kind of tasted like cereal.
It was all vile, right? I have a headache.
Yeah, not necessarily vile. Like when you first start eating it, it's like, oh, like this is like too much,
right?
But
Scent
then
of a woman.
But then, like your rat brain kicks in and it's like, sugar, no, it tastes delicious. Eat more of it.
Right.
So then you have more of it. That's what
I don't have
did.
a rat brain for the record.
I thought you were growing out a rat tail, though. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the brain in
All
my
right.
head. It's a human brain.
You've got that little rubber band hanging off the back of your head there.
It'd be cool to have a rat tail, though, right?
It would not be cool to have a rat tail.
I mean, you can't in the decade of life that you're in, but me as a young man.
No, even as a kid, Tim, because I didn't really know you when we were like real little kids, but like the kids with rat tails got picked on mercilessly for having rat tails.
Yeah, but now we're bigger.
So you're saying if we could have rat tails now and go back to like 4th grade?
Yeah. Some sort of Billy Madison situation.
I mean, you could go back to 4th grade and probably just be like, look, I have a switchblade or whatever. And you would need to grow a rat tail. I think you'd impress the same people that I think you're after impressing.
I had a daydream the other day that a Billy Madison situation happened to me. And I was proud of how good I would be at it.
At redoing the first grade and stuff.
That was tough for the character of Billy Madison because he was an idiot.
Right.
But I was like good at it the first time around, and now I'm even smarter.
It was tough for him because he didn't actually go through it the first time.
No, when he goes back the second time.
Yeah, but it was because he didn't really do anything the first time.
Yeah, but
you did do stuff.
I know, that's why I thought I'd be so much better at it than Billy Madison.
All right, sure.
Yeah, and then after like 5 minutes of daydreaming this, I was like, why am I thinking about this?
Yeah, I'd do better than a character whose like sole trait was being stupid.
Yeah. And like a pervert.
I think being stupid and being a pervert go hand in hand. Not all perverts are stupid, but all stupid people are perverts.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I'll say this, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
The Monster Mash is a big deal. Because
culturally.
Because only Count Chocula, Franken Berry, and Boo Berry
still exist.
And they're still only produced seasonally from September 1st to October 31st. As soon as Halloween month is over, they're like, psh,
done.
Back in the tombs.
They tell the supermarkets, burn your supply.
Yeah. Burn it in a ritual sacrifice.
Yeah, don't let anyone eat this. Bad things will happen. You'll invite Satan himself into our realm.
Fruit Brute and freaking Yummy Mummy haven't been available in years.
Fruit Brute was never available during our lifetimes, apparently, until it was like reintroduced in 2014 as like another, promotional thing.
Tom, you're much older than me.
Uh-huh.
You're in your 40s, I believe.
Technically, yes.
So you did live to see Fruit Brute.
Did I?
It was discontinued in 1982.
It's all right. So I was 1 year old, Tim. Yeah. I can assure you, as a 1 year old baby.
What was the world like in a fruit? I've only lived in a post Fruit Brute world.
Well, tell you what, Tim. Ronald Reagan was president, and things were a lot better when Fruit Brute was around.
You say that all the time. So yeah, they're bringing everything together, and like you said, it was a mush of flavors. I will say this about all these cereals. I remember from my Lucky Charms days, there used to be a lot more marshmallows. They've really dialed back the ratio of marshmallows to quote unquote boring pieces.
Yeah, but in fairness to them, at some point the Lucky Charms people figured out how to frost the other parts.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, there are fewer marshmallows, but everything's got sugar on it now.
Exactly.
Which actually I feel like I've occasionally gotten the generic Lucky Charms, and I don't think they're like that. I don't think the other parts are like the bran parts or whatever. The grain parts are covered in sugar, which I prefer.
For them not to be?
Yeah, because then it's like a little more of a challenge because like, all right, I got to like, figure out how many marshmallows I want in each spoonful here.
Were you like, and then last bite, I'm going to leave 5 or 6 marshmallows.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, although that's kind of risky because the marshmallows, they melt faster than anything.
They melt faster.
Yeah, they
Just
melt.
eat a smaller bowl and then go back for seconds.
I eat slow. Actually, I don't.
No, you don't.
I don't eat slow when it's sugary.
You eat like a
things.
monster.
I do.
You eat like the fruit brute himself.
How dare you? I don't. I eat slow, except when it's sugary stuff, and then I eat it like incredibly fast. But like a regular dinner, Tim, when we go out for our steak dinners, I eat very slow and meticulously.
Yeah, and you really enjoy every bite.
I go,
Yeah. It's endearing, I gotta say.
I say my compliments to the chef after each bite.
So I think out of the let's go.
So Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy were basically the same, though, right?
I think so. I mean, they were
generally just fruit flavored cereals.
Yeah. But remember, Fruit Brute had the lime flavored marshmallows, which were not represented in here. Like, the Monster Mash really kind of just takes one element from each of the 5 cereals.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't even know if they do that.
Yeah. They're a little cagey right, about what exactly is in here.
I didn't see any chocolate pieces in there. Right?
This chocolate bat thing. It's brown, at least. Here, let's see if I can find a
that kind of looks purpley to me.
I'm not seeing any Did you eat all the marshmallows out of this?
Man, I wish. Tim, you're really nailing it with the Foley work right now.
Yeah, people might think we actually have a box of cereal in here. It's COVID. I'm trying not to just jam my... Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, you found a bat marshmallow? Well, eat it. Don't put it back. What does it taste like? Are
like a Lucky Charms.
Are the marshmallows in Count Chocula even chocolate marshmallows anymore?
I think so.
I think they might just be generic marshmallow type flavors.
This is chocolatey. Here's what they say.
Chocolatey.
Chocolatey cereal with monster marshmallows.
Yeah, see? I don't think those are even chocolate.
Yeah, they're not even. They're actually kind of like whitish.
Yeah, that's not the color chocolate is. Now, keep in mind, as you're chewing it, Tim, it's been in there with the chocolatey cereal, so it's going to get, a little, some hints of that at least.
I think it's not a flavored marshmallow. It's marshmallow flavored.
Yeah, that's why
mallow flavored.
That's why I think this Monster Mash is. I feel
so sick, but I'm just eating some of this Count Chocula now real quick.
I think the Monster Mash is just Franken Berry. I think that's it. I don't think they really added anything else to it. Because most of it's red, right? Most of the cereal pieces.
This has freaking class action lawsuit written all over it.
Tim, were you nuts? You're going to sue monsters? You're going to sue 5 monsters? Good luck.
I don't think they'd be good at like law stuff and the court and knowing the rules.
Yeah, but you think a jury is going to convict one of them? They're going to be like...
None of these guys see... Tom, we know for a fact that Count Chocula...
You say it like we met them.
Count Chocula and
like
Franken Berry...
You're alluding to like, well, we happen to know.
No, we've done our research. Count Chocula and Franken Berry are a couple of cowards.
Mm-hmm.
The whole marketing when they first came out 50 years ago.
Yeah.
These two guys talking a big game, being like, oh, we're so spooky, and then they get the shit scared out of them by something else.
Well, they just followed, I guess they were around first, but it's the Count Duckula playbook. Remember Count Duckula?
Yeah, I never cared for Count Duckula.
That was a weird show, but I liked it. But that was like the same. It's like, how do we market monsters to kids when kids are some of the biggest scaredy pants that are out there going?
Mm-hmm.
And the way they do it is by making the monsters also scaredy pants.
Yeah. It's the classic scaredy pants conundrum.
Yeah, or they make them I guess like the monsters in Monsters Inc. are just like friendly.
Yeah, or like misunderstood or something. Casper was misunderstood, right?
Right.
Is a ghost really a monster? Come on, and no disrespect to Boo Berry, who's standing right there.
Yeah, I guess they just didn't want to do Invisible Man cereal.
Yeah. That'd be pretty funny, though, right?
I mean, how would they do it? See-through stuff or just an empty box?
Nothing, just an empty box.
But you would have to feel something.
Oh, no, the hat and the trench coat.
Oh, yeah, like little hats and trench coats.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what the Invisible Man wears. He's nude underneath.
Yeah.
But he wears these two things just so, nobody like accidentally touches his wiener.
Yeah. And then the shapes are all wiener shaped.
But he doesn't have. You can't see his wiener, Tim. So it'd be a weird thing for the marshmallows, though, to then.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
To then just be wieners again. I don't think you're thinking about marketing to children and what kind of cereals.
I don't think these should be marketed to children, Tom. I think that's where they should have made these because, like, look, this is poison that children shouldn't eat.
Delicious poison.
They should have marketed them to adults and made them actually scary.
But I think even adults don't want to buy scary food for the most part. How would they
Nobody's
make it
tried.
actually scary?
You ever see the Saw movies, Tom?
Oh, have scenes from the Saw movies on the cover of cereal boxes?
Yeah, some kind of torture porn stuff.
I don't think people want to buy torture porn
Weirdos
cereal.
do.
Yeah, but you can only make so much money catering to weirdos.
Ask the vampire industry, Tom.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Well, this would work if the cereal was expensive.
Right.
We
didn't get back to this.
Yeah.
How much do you think? I already told you, but these are family size.
I don't pay attention when you
No,
talk
I
to
already told you that they were cheaper than
Yes.
I thought. But how much do you expect a family size box of cereal?
I mean, how much would I expect? Like $6.
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
$3.50.
Wow.
And and this was New York City.
Yeah, inflated New York City.
I bought these in Tribeca, Tom. The fanciest.
Like the top of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, then they got to pay the rent for that skyscraper, too. They got to include that in the
shadow
price.
of the Freedom Tower, Tom. I saluted the tower and walked into the Target, took the escalator down, found the end cap with all these.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the family size. The normal size boxes, which are generally pretty small,
Yeah.
list price at $2.75.
You'd be a fool not to buy them at that price.
Go out and buy this poison. It's cheap.
Tim, you were also, I don't know if you wanted me to mention this, but you also mentioned that you had all these cereals and you stopped in at your wife's baby shower.
Yeah, my wife's coworkers threw her a baby shower and very graciously invited me. That was very nice.
Because that's like a thing, like the husband shows up at the end, right?
Yeah,
and
well,
it's like,
I showed up at the
get
beginning.
out of
It was a
here,
big-
you ladies,
no,
right? That's how it works.
Tom,
What? And you shoo them all
your
away?
understanding of how the world works.
It's got me this far.
Look how far we're fucked up on sugar cereal.
Yeah, we're living the dream.
So I stopped on the way there because I came like pretty much straight here from there to buy these 3 huge boxes of Monster cereal.
Yeah.
And I showed up at her office, and her coworkers were like, "Are those for the party?" And I was like, "Oh no, these are just
These are for
just
the baby.
for me." Yeah. What did Siri just say to me?
I don't know. I pressed the button by accident.
Tom,
Don't worry about it.
Why do you have Siri enabled on anything?
So I can ask her when we have to know how old a celebrity is or something, which is pretty frequent, to be honest.
How old is Count Chocula?
We know how old he is. He's 50 years old, Tim.
No, he's been around. He was around before the cereal came out.
The character you're talking about?
No, the man, the actual guy.
Tim, I think you're very confused about the origins of this cereal. Now, we tried the other ones, the Boo Berry and the Count Chocula. Out of the 3, which was your favorite?
Out of the three, I think the Count Chocula was my favorite
Okay.
because, like, if they're all gonna be just like vile, sugary shit,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's chocolate. This kind of just tastes more like dessert than anything else.
Yeah, when you're eating something that's chocolate, there's kind of no question about, like, is this good for me?
Right.
You're like, no, it's actual chocolate. Like, this might be better than just sitting down and eating a Hershey's bar. I don't know, maybe not. But you can at least tell yourself that.
Yeah.
So, like, look, there's bran pieces.
But for some, like, there's something about it. Like, after I ate a Hershey's bar, a half hour later, I don't feel dizzy.
My favorite, Tim, was the Boo Berry because I'm not basic.
Wow, Tom. What a very interesting choice you've made, Tom. You must be a really interesting man.
Well, that's what people tell me.
I
You're
have
not
tastes
a-
that are a
you're
bit
n-
out of the ordinary.
You're
Have you
not
ever heard of-
around when people tell me that, but people are often,
always,
because they don't say it when you're around because they're like, oh, he's gonna put
pulling
up a
you
big,
aside. Yeah.
the boring guy is gonna be like, oh, have you thought about life insurance? That's you.
I'm always trying to, and I don't sell life
No,
insurance. I
it's
just
good. You
think
just wanna
I think it's a
talk
good
about it.
idea for people to.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Boo Berry, I think, because I feel like you don't see many blueberry cereals. Like
Right.
fake blueberry is a like a pretty standard artificial flavor that's out there.
Is it though?
I mean,
feel like
for things that
blue,
are very
more
sugary.
often they're saying like this is blue raz.
Yeah, but there's some blueberry stuff out there. Like I don't know, like ice pops or ice cream. You can get
kidding
those.
me?
Yeah, well, I'm not kidding you, Tim. I'm telling you the truth. Blueberry candy you can get.
What blueberry candy?
Just
name
little,
a brand.
little candied blueberries that are made, homemade, or they make them at the store.
What?
So I just feel like you don't see blue. I mean, and you're making my point more than I am. I'm saying like, yeah, you see it sometimes. You're saying like, no, you never see it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Boo-berry is interesting. I put it up there with like
As interesting as you with your
no,
unconventional
of course,
tastes.
Tim, it can't be that interesting. But I think the way people go crazy for the McRib because it's only around once a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the way I feel with Boo-berry, where it's like you don't actually like the McRib. Like even if you're one of these people that's like, oh, I can't wait. Like you go and have it once. And look, if you're some maniac that is going to email us and be like, oh, I have it every day when it comes back. And then when it's not, I'm just so fucking depressed. I want to kill myself. Save it.
Did you say if you're one of those people?
Yeah, if you're one of those people. Specifically about the McRib.
Yeah.
Whereas, and that's what I'm saying, like Boo-berry is like that. It's around once a year. You maybe get one box of it and you're like, oh, that was good, but I don't need more of it.
Right.
But it was different enough. I remember Franken Berry. I never really liked the way Franken Berry tasted. I didn't like that his fingernails were strawberries.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah, it really, I don't know. It skeeved me out. I didn't want, it was like, so I'm eating fingernails? Is that what the implication is here?
I mean, but he's a Frankenstein, so they used they use fruit parts for all of them, right?
No, I mean, Boo-berry, I think, is only...
No, we're talking about Frankenberry.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, Boo-berry is blue just because they're like, I don't know, what other color can we make a ghost? Like, the blue in the ghost, he's still white on the outside, but it's, like, blue on the inside.
You understand the pun, though. Boo-berry
Yeah,
sounds like
I get
blueberry,
it. And
right?
Frankenberry, too. I mean, I guess Frankenberry could have been blueberry as well. It wouldn't work as well as Boo-berry.
Yeah. Yeah, because boo sounds like blue. Franken
Yeah.
doesn't sound like blue. But what I'm saying, the character of Frankenberry appears to be like a man made out of all sorts of different fruit. You know how Dr. Frankenstein put together
I don't
Frankenstein's
think he is.
monster.
He's made out of berries.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're saying like other types of berries.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
But he's got strawberry
berries are
fingernails
fruit,
that I don't
Tom.
like.
Tom, berries are fruit.
I know they're fruit. I'm just saying I don't like his strawberry fingernails, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
What's the deal with his eyes? They look like mechanical or something.
Yeah, Timmy's a Frankenstein. He's, they whatever is lying around, they used to make him into a sentient being.
Tom, this isn't the first time General John Mills had the great idea. Oh, let's make a marketing.
You said his voice sounded different before.
What do you mean?
Before you said his voice was more like this.
Tom, I'll tell you this much about
General John Mills.
General John Mills. As a character, he evolves just as much as these
Okay.
monsters.
So that was maybe like the 60s General John Mills, but nowadays he's got a slightly different voice.
Because in 2013
Mm-hmm.
and 2014, they decided to like revamp it. They brought them all back out, all 5 serials. And they did it, and guess what?
What?
They got some cool dudes, your favorite dudes, to redraw them all.
They got you're talking about they got some comic book artists
From
to redraw.
DC Comics. Tom,
Yeah.
you love DC Comics. The Batman,
Uh-huh.
Superman,
Uh-huh.
Aquaman,
Uh-huh.
Wonder Woman.
Yep.
You don't like her so much. The Joker,
Mm-hmm.
particularly Jared Leto's portrayal.
Yes.
30 Seconds to Mars. You're a big fan.
Yeah. I would love a cereal called 30 Seconds to Marshmallows. They should put that out
Wow.
during next Halloween.
That would be pretty spooky.
I'd eat the hell out of it.
That definitely shouldn't be marketed to kids.
Yeah.
But Jared Leto would be like, no, let's
Put me on the box. A weird 50-year-old man who doesn't look like he's 50.
He looks like he's 50 now. He just looks like a weird... Like, he doesn't look like any age, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you wouldn't be like, that guy looks 30, right?
Yeah, you would look at him and be like, I don't know if that's a newborn baby or somebody who's 150 years old.
People did not like it, I don't think.
I saw some of these drawings, and they weren't as out there as I was hoping.
Yeah, no, they
didn't really like redesign the characters. They just drew the same characters in like more or less the same style.
You ever see, like, when it's like fan art of like The Simpsons that's drawn in like anime style or something?
Yeah.
And it's just like, this just looks like, they look like slightly more real people.
Wait, they
The
do
Simpsons?
if they're anime?
Yeah.
Oh, compared to like how they're normally drawn, which
Yeah.
is like very cartoonish.
Yeah, I feel like that's what all this did. It just took anything.
Yeah,
It was, hey, as a monster cereal head, that was glorified fan art as far as I'm concerned. All right, I know DC Comics is a big comic house, but
Well, you thought this was their opportunity to go after the adult market.
make it really scary.
Yeah,
And sexy. Yeah.
Hey, put some nudity on the front.
Exactly.
Maybe Count Chocula, his pants. His pants are so low you can see his pubic hair. And then it's like, oh, didn't expect to see that on a box of cereal. Maybe I'll have to give it a try. Because you can't just put like his dick on it,
You got to leave a little to the imagination.
Just like a little pubic hair coming out.
Right.
Little chocolatey pubic hair. Boob berry.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
you
that
made that
writes
joke
itself.
a few times.
I mean,
Right.
that you can just put boobs on the front of that. And who else we got? Franken Berry.
I think you could just-
Dingleberry.
Well,
Dingleberries.
I mean, if you were offended by his strawberry fingernails,
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't like a box where he's shitting out cereal.
you can have him with a big juicy butt, right?
Yeah, you could have a Frankenberry with a big juicy butt. You don't even have to explain it because it's like we took parts from everybody.
It's two big strawberries that they smashed
he's
together.
a Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And he's looking over his shoulder, kind of like, who, me? After you've given him a big wolf whistle.
Speaking of big wolf whistle, what about Fruit Brute?
Fruit Brute, I feel like there's a reason why this guy's not around anymore. I think he was problematic in the 60s. No, I just think they're phoning that one in. nobody describes a wolf man as a brute.
Right.
You know, that sure, a wolf man's a brute, but that's not the first thing you would
If
say.
anything, I would expect the Frankenstein to be a brute.
Yeah. Fruit Brute Frankenstein would make more sense, but they had the Franken Berry. But yeah, Fruit Brute, I guess they're just like desperately trying to avoid anything that could imply that there's hair in the cereal. Right?
Yeah, I guess
or
so.
fur.
Yeah.
You know, that's like a real
But I mean, you know,
third rail issue for cereal.
freaking Fruit Loops
Mm-hmm.
has a bird mascot. Nobody's like, what is this, full of feathers?
Yeah, but
Man, that would suck if you poured a bowl of Fruit Loops and the Fruit Loops and they're great, and then just a bunch of feathers you had to sift through, colorful feathers.
But I feel like all these cereals, all the characters with the flavors, you're led to believe somehow that, you know, these pieces of cereal are not too dissimilar from the Eucharist, where they're a part of these characters'
They
bodies
eventually become the characters when they're
after
inside
you've
you.
consumed
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And, you know, because they're so closely, you know, Count Chocula and these are chocolate. If somebody told you, you know, they make that out of real Count Choculas, you'd be like, oh.
Yeah. And then you
I
drink
didn't
the
know
milk
that,
at
but
the
I'm
end.
not surprised. Yeah,
and the milk has turned all brown, like Count Chocula's blood.
Yeah. And you drink it with two hands like you would
Mm-hmm.
the wine at Mass. Whereas I feel like Fruit Brute, it's like all over the place where it's like, what? And you look at the Fruit Brute and it's just a regular standard wolf man just wearing like a striped shirt.
Well, overalls, Tom.
Overalls. But
That's
it's like,
cool. That's
I
cool.
want to see him actually made of fruit like Franken Berry is.
What about Yummy Mummy or Fruity Yummy Mummy?
See, Yummy Mummy I'm okay with because the wraps that he's made out of are like fruit colored.
Mm.
You know, they're like fun colors, so you get an idea.
Right, but how could they make him adult?
Yummy Mommy. And then it's just, you know, like MILF.
She's got a nice figure under all those. That
Yeah.
you can see.
You can see some, but some's left to the imagination. You're going to have to
But
keep pulling
yeah,
on
but
that
she's
wrap.
wrapped pretty tightly.
Right.
Right,
So she's very anxious, you're saying?
exactly.
I just, this is what I imagine. If I licked Count Chocula, he would taste chocolatey. If I was able to make Boo Berry somehow corporal in our realm, and I licked him, he would taste like
I feel like
blueberry.
you just have to like walk through his
Yeah, with my
essence,
mouth
and you
open.
would feel.
Yeah, and be like, oh, you know, like a psychic medium would be like, I'm getting hints of blueberry here.
Right.
Whereas I feel like if I licked the Fruit Brute, I would just get fur in my mouth.
Right.
Back to the drawing board, General Mills.
So
You're relieved of duty.
you're talking about General John Mills?
Yeah,
He's dead. He can't
What?
respond to your yeah.
I didn't hear. How did he die?
He licked the Fruit Brute.
Oh,
The Fruit Brute fucking did not like it at all.
well, somebody had to do it, you know,
Yeah.
to see what happened. Was he able to get out before the Fruit Brute presumably ripped him to shreds? What he tasted
Did
like?
you ever see? No, I don't know. Did you ever see the Grizzly Man, Tom?
No, the documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the part where Werner Herzog hears the audio
Uh huh.
of the Grizzly Man getting killed by the grizzly bear.
Uh huh.
It was a situation like
Oh,
that.
but
Werner
so they don't
Herzog.
play it, but he heard it.
Werner
and he-
Herzog heard
and he
General
tells
John
you
Mills
what it
get mauled.
what it feels like to hear it.
Yeah, but he was just like,
But
you
he's
should
not gonna
never listen
subject
to
you
this.
to it, yeah.
So we'll never know what the Fruit Brute tastes like.
Wow. General John Mills, a true American hero. If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgte.com. Hey, if you're listening to this like the day it came out or the next day or even the day after that, we've got a show in New York City. tcgte.com/live, October 5th at Caveat in New York City. You can also watch it on live stream if you want. And tickets for all that stuff is at tcgt.com/live. We're doing the end of the world as our topic.
Yes. Hey, talk about scary.
I mean,
That's
it's
dark even for Halloween month.
I know it's him. We're true sickos. We should, instead of doing this at Caveat, we should be doing this at Spencer's Gifts. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. You can follow us on Twitter at Complete Guide. Follow us on Instagram at TCGTE. And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Reynolds.
You can follow me at your pal Tim.
And hey, if you like books, check out Books the Podcast, patreon.com/complete guide. I'm in the middle of reading The Andromeda Strain, which is kind of like a horror type thing. It's spooky enough for Halloween month. Not as spooky as the end of the world, but actually maybe it's not too far off.
Wow.
patreon.com/complete guide.
Check out the Discord. Check out the Reddit.
Yeah. Tim, would you ever buy any of these cereals again?
No. In fact,
never? Not even
I
next
spent my
year?
own money on them, and I'm going to leave them here if that's okay with you at your
Yeah,
house.
I'll eat the hell out of them.
Yeah, I never want to eat this stuff again.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Oh, okay.
Would you buy them again?
I don't have to. You're giving me them for free.
Would next year when these come around?
Tomorrow when I've eaten all these, will I get more? I don't think so. I would maybe get the Franken Berry just to try that.
Right. But isn't it your contention that Monster Mash is just Franken Berry?
Yeah, so I would get it to see. I feel
Maybe there is no, because why would Target have 3 out of 4?
Yeah. I mean, it is prime hollow. It's not like there was a run on Franken Berry and they ran out of it, but everything else they still have.
Did we get freaking duped by General John Mills, the ghost of General John
Tim,
Mills?
don't speak ill of the dead. We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.